What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about why you can't get over him and how to get over him. Before I start, I just want to say if you're sexually active and or frequently exploring your sexual options, please get checked. Know your status, get checked. Please be responsible while having your fun. If you're going to take charge of your sexuality, be mindful enough to take charge of your sexual health. If you don't want to go to a clinic or you think it's too awkward to talk to a doctor or a stranger about your personal business, please get yourself a home test kit. The link is in the description. We have to start doing better. Too many people are catching too many diseases out here when it's preventable. Now anyway, on to this topic. A lot of women write me and they wonder why they still can't get over the one that got away, or why they can't get over the guy that they've had a crush on for years who played them or who did something dirty to them and they still like him and they still want him. I talk to women every day who are stuck on the wrong man for many times years at a time. One of the number one reasons why people can't get over their ex or people can't get over the one that got away or an old crush is that they have no power over their thought life. Okay? Meditation is often used to overcome addictions and other mental disabilities. Meditation is a powerful tool against thinking about things that are weakening you, thinking about things and focusing on things that aren't doing you any good. A lot of times, the difference between an addict using or not using is just getting control of their thought life and actually learning how to put up a fight with thoughts that aren't necessarily conducive to where they want to be. Unfortunately, in relationships, we don't really take that same approach to overcoming a person as one would overcome an addiction. But that's what it is a lot of times. You're either addicted to or obsessed about a person. And so the number one thing that you can do, the number one favor that you can do for yourself is learn how to get some control over your thought life. Learn some mindfulness training. Mindfulness training is a very powerful tool. It's powerful in helping people learn how to control the energies that they emit and the energies that they absorb. A lot of times the difference between you having a great day or having a really crummy day is your mindfulness training, your ability to control your thought life, your ability to focus on things that are conducive to your mental health and reject things that are not. If you're sitting around thinking about the one that got away or the one you lost or the guy who just played you and you're playing those scenarios back over and over and over in your head, you're never really going to get over it because your body and your mind doesn't know the difference between something that already happened and something that's still happening if you keep reliving it over and over. There's been plenty of psychological studies that show that the mind thinks that everything that's being thought about is a reality of some sort. So if you still are reliving the things that you've been through, if you're still reliving the person that you lost and the regret that you have around losing them, it feels like it's brand new every day and it retrains your mind to respond to it in the same way as if it was brand new. So to be quite honest, mastering one of the various forms of meditation is oftentimes one of your best bets to getting over someone because it trains you to choose and control your thought patterns. If you have no control over your mind, then you can't control the temptations that you entertain. A double-minded man or woman is unstable in all their ways. So if your mind is running the show and you have no control over where your thoughts go, you're always going to be in a weakened state. Please get some mindfulness training. There's enough meditation YouTube and mindfulness YouTube to go around for everybody. Another reason that I see that women often aren't getting over the guy that they just lost is when they block him, they don't block him to get rid of him. They block him to teach him a lesson. They block him as revenge or as a desperate plea for him to change his ways or to change his mind about not wanting them. Very rarely do I hear women talk about blocking a guy permanently. They block a guy and they unblock a guy and then they block him again when he doesn't improve or make the adjustments or start being nicer or calling them when he says he's going to call them. They block as a kind of a temper tantrum, but it's not because they're actually done, right? It's just a bunch of pump faking that they're doing. It's just a bunch of faking to try to convince a guy to treat them better. It doesn't work. If a guy's not treating you well, you can't convince him through any of those methods that women generally try, whether it's no contact or blocking and unblocking. It just looks like a bunch of desperate temper tantrums and pleas for attention. So anyway, if you want to get over a guy, when you block him, decide that he's just done. Decide that it's over with. Decide to not unblock him, like never unblock him again. If you're blocked, for me, you're blocked forever. And it has to be the way you think about it. If you're thinking that you're blocking a person temporarily, then you have the wrong mindset into it going in. If you're trying to get over somebody who, for whatever reason, is emotionally dangerous to you, don't block them as a means of punishment or as a temporary solution. It has to be the permanent solution. It has to be a final solution. To keep going back and checking your messages to see if he tried to contact you while you had him blocked is just ridiculous. That does not help you get over a guy, to keep checking to see if he tried to contact you while he was blocked. Another reason you may not be getting over the guy that you miss is you're still stalking his social media. Every day you're still reliving that loss. Every day you're still reliving that rejection or that betrayal of sort. You got to stop looking at a guy's social media. You got to stop being connected to what's going on with him and watching from afar as his life develops and evolves. Don't do that to yourself. Stop trying to stay connected with your ex to show them how great you're doing, to make them jealous or to make them respond to you in some way. Again, just like the blocking and unblocking, it does a lot more harm to you than it does to them. To continue to watch them from afar and attempt to make yourself known to them, even though you're not with them anymore, to make them jealous or to affect them at all. Any attempt to affect an ex is almost a guaranteed way to hurt yourself a little bit more than you've hurt your ex. It's just not worth the trouble, and you'll never get over somebody always living to make sure that they are witnessing you in a certain way or seeing you in a certain way. You're still trying to control perceptions that they have of you. They still have power over you, so you're not going to get over them. You got to leave that alone. So with that said, one of the last reasons why people don't get over that special someone that they lost is that they haven't replaced the space that that person held with something else that required mental focus. I talked about mindfulness training earlier, meditation, and different forms of mindfulness training. One of the easiest ways to get over someone is to obviously replace them, replace the space and the void that they leave in your life. But you must do that with something that requires focus and dedication, something that requires you to meditate on it and focus on it as you overcome or as you conquer a new skill or a new hobby that would ultimately steal away from your attention from thinking about them, from filling your idle mind with thoughts of them. Right? They always say idle minds turn to mischief. And that's true. I think that idle minds ultimately lead us down a path that we don't have anything to fill it with, so we go right to the most heavy, most deep, most impactful thoughts we have. Ultimately, many times those are the thoughts that we have about an ex or a person we miss or the traumas that we've been through in our life. It really is the greatest things that are going on for us. It really is our happy thoughts. It really is our happy place. Most of the time, when we have too much time to think, all of our traumas come back rushing at us. And so it's very, very important that you replace that person with something that requires your focus. So when you break up with somebody, it's really important that you pick up a new hobby, learn a new skill, pick up a new field of study, something that requires you to really mentally focus and dedicate your mind's power to that. Even if there's a certain time of day where you normally think about them, or there's a certain time of month where you normally think about them, in those times you can kind of figure out when they're coming. Prepare yourself by picking up a hobby or a book or a new skill set that you focus on during that time where you're most vulnerable to the thoughts of missing that person and calling them or texting them or begging for their forgiveness or pleading for them to come back to you. Instead, use that time to develop yourself so when you are ready to move on and you are done with them, you're a bigger and better person for it, having a new skill set or a new hobby. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I hope that helps. I'm just answering questions from Instagram as I would if I was going live, but I don't get to go live much. So now I'm just answering questions in the long, rambly way I answer questions on live on here. Remember, if you are particularly sexually active, I hope that you get tested. I don't care if you go get tested at a clinic, go get tested at your doctor's office, but if you're too afraid to get tested and the reason you haven't been tested is because it's awkward and it's embarrassing, please get yourself a home test kit. And you can order one of those in the description box. It's not that serious, but we have to do better. We have to start protecting ourselves. We have to start being safe. I really believe in this, so I'm going to keep pushing this and I'm going to keep telling y'all about this because I'm just really passionate about making sure that people give themselves a life that they not only can be proud of, but that is also safe. Anyway, follow me at KidFig24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.